I had an old iron wood stove, and you had to go out and cut your wood, and you carried in.
Hello, I'm Renee Lamalina with Modern Homemakers, and today we've got my mom, Dottie, and we were just reminiscing about kitchens because we just built a brand new home, and I have this beautiful kitchen. My daughter Joaquina calls it the decadent kitchen with the hardwood floors and the granite countertops and everything. And my mom doesn't even want to use the stove. She just uses the microwave because this kitchen intimidates her. And so I thought it would be fun for her to share what her first kitchen. So you can choose. You want to talk about your first kitchen after you and Dad got married, or do you want to talk about?
I didn't have one after we got married.
Well, the
We
first
didn't have
house.
any place to live.
Your first house.
Yeah. Well,
All right, let's
that
talk
would be
about that
would be
kitchen.
after the war.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, as I said, it was just a box. I mean, a house of rough wood, and it was divided into a kitchen and I guess another part, but wasn't totally divided. It was just an opening in there. Wasn't no doors.
So in this kitchen, did you have a gas stove or an electric stove?
I had an old iron wood stove, and you had to go out and cut your wood, and you carried in. And if you were lucky, you could find a place where there was knots in the wood, pine wood, and that would, you could cut that into kindling, so it caught a fire, the oil, and it caught fire, and then you'd build up and you'd build your fire in that. And
so wood burning stove. I have to digress just a moment from this story. We'll get back to this, but I'm remembering Mom telling me how they used to heat the water to give the baby a bath. And for her first baby, my oldest brother, how did you do that? How did you give him that?
I had a dish pan, and I had the water in there, and I set. See, I had just a table. I didn't have any cabinets or anything. I had just a wood table, and I set that just like a dish pan with him in it, and some water
on the stove.
But I picked it up and set it on the stove to warm to get him out. And, yeah, that's how stupid I was.
So it was almost like cooking the baby accidentally. But he's fine.
I was 17 years old. I tell you, ignorant. Yeah.
Okay, back to the kitchen. I just remember that.
So you didn't have a special baby bathtub and baby shampoo and baby washcloths.
Lord, I didn't have anything. I know. Oh no! As I said, now that would have been towards the end of World War II, and yeah, I was probably 18 by that time. I mean, no, maybe not, because probably 17.
Yeah, no, it was earlier than that because I'm still considered a baby boomer.
Yeah,
so that was earlier than that.
It was after. Yeah, as I said, that I'd gotten back from, as I said.
So back to this decadent kitchen that you had. You had a wood burning stove that you had to build a fire. I remember another story that you told about you had to milk the cows in the morning, and I remember that you brought a pail of milk inside and set it on the table. Do you remember what story I'm talking about?
The same table.
Okay, so tell them what was around that.
Well, I had set him down, and I picked up to set it over there, and there was my bucket that I went out and I milked the cows, and I brought them in, and I strained my milk through a cloth after you milk. Now that was how we went before in that age. That's how we strained our milk through a cloth, and I strained my milk and set my empty thing down and set it. There was a copperhead snake on that table, and he was sitting right over here beside of it. So I grabbed him and ran outside and got my chopping axe and went in there and chopped that snake in two.
On the table, probably.
On the table, absolutely on the table.
But I don't think that you put him in the soup pot, probably.
No, not hardly. But see, that's the way that the world was at that point in time.
Yeah.
And this was hard times. There was no jobs, and we didn't have. Thank goodness I had the cattle. You see, I could milk them, and yes, I could sell my milk, and that we lived that way a long time.
So this was in Arkansas, in a very rural area.
Well, it's where the homestead was, just 25, about 20 miles from where the homestead was. The old house is still there.